Hi guys, good day. Good day. Talking today about creating multiple streams of income, and we can utilize that with digital products. And one digital product that I know of that will help us do that is writing a book or creating a course on something that we're good at. Hey Loki, how are you? Um, so if you take the Hey there, Jay. Good to see you. Good to see you. You know, it's amazing. Technology is something else. I am on a platform that's allowing me to stream out to one, two, three, four, well, probably close to 10 platforms. And when I was a kid, there was it was really, hey Parker, how are you? Thanks for liking Alive, man. We're living in technology today, guys, that it really makes things easy. So I'm going to talk to you about creating multiple streams of income. You know, I don't know if anybody's like me, but I went to the grocery store the other day. Just bought a few simple items. I think five of them. I think five items, really. And they said that'll be $51. 51. 51. And, there used to be a time where if I took $51 to a grocery store, and it wasn't too long ago, but if I took $51 to a grocery store, it would have been um, a a week's worth. Well, this wasn't even a night's worth. And so I said, I looked at the cashier and I said, wait a minute, I'm expecting my bags. She handed me one bag, and I said, "No way. No way. Absolutely not. You're not sending me home empty-handed." I literally she thought I was nuts. She thought I was crazy. I said, "Wait a minute. I want my bags. Dang it. I want my bags." So, she handed me 5 bags. I said, "Now put each item in each one of those bags." And I carried one item in each bag. I was like, "Good night, Irene." Um, so my point is this: if your income stays the same, guys, if your income stays the same and everything else is going up, are you better or worse? See, a lot of times we have that old adage: if I keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, I'll get the same results, right? No, you not only go crazy because that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different to happen. Well, actually, you will get different things. Years ago, I met Mr. Rohn. His name is Jim Rohn. And I said to Jim, I said, Mr. Rohn, after your seminar, well, he was a motivational personal development coach and all that. And I said, Mr. Rohn, what is what's my life look like in 5 years because of your seminar? And he said, oh, that's a good question. He said, probably like the last 5 years. Hell no. I said, I'm not coming to this motivational seminar and learning these different things about business and all that so my life can be it was the last 5 years. Hell to the no. And he said, I take it back. I take it back. And I said, oh, finally, some light at the end of the tunnel. And he said, you know, it won't look like the last 5 years. I'm like, thank God. He said, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different to happen. And you will find it will be different. It'll be worse. I mean, if your income stays the same, guys, and the cost of milk goes up, it's worse. It's worse. So you gotta believe you can start thinking about what do I need to do differently? Does this make sense? Is the job that I'm doing making sense? Am I making enough money? Well, if I'm not making enough money, are there things that I can do differently to change my life in the future? And the answer is emphatically and incredibly yes. You can do it today, just like that. Make a decision. That's the trouble with most people is they don't make a decision. They won't make a decision to save their life. They say, well, what if it doesn't work? Well, my question is, what if it does? And what if it doesn't? Who cares? Really, at the end of the day, this is your life. This is your life. I heard it said that a lot of us um, are existing today. We take up space, but most of us don't live. I lived in Florida for about 3 years and traveled the state. And I got a chance to talk to somebody down there who lived. Are you ready for this? He lived in the same condo that I did, and it was 20 minutes from the ocean. And I was so grateful to be living next to this guy. I went over to him and I said, "So what is the ocean like?" He said, "How?" First of all, I said, "How long have you lived in Florida?" He said, "40 years." I'm like, really? And I said, "What's the ocean like?" And he says, "I don't know." I said, "What do you mean you don't know?" He said, "I've never been. I've never been to the ocean." He's 20 minutes from the ocean and he's never been to the ocean in 40 years. You think about it. Think about where, when you go on a vacation somewhere and you're like, you're looking up at all the skyscrapers and you're looking up at all the fancy buildings and the fancy doodads and all that stuff. And you're like a tourist and they know they can spot you 3 miles away, but people have been there all their life and they don't even appreciate what they got all around them. There's people that are in New York that have never seen the Statue of Liberty. They've never seen it. It's right there. Why? Sometimes we have so many gifts within us that we don't even utilize. We don't even utilize. We don't even go to. So here's the thing what I want to share with you is that you have a story. You have cooking on the inside of you. You have mechanics on the inside of you. You have technology on the inside of you. Maybe you're a social media director. Maybe you know how to use TikTok. Maybe you know how to use social media. Maybe you know how to do something better than someone else. Can you put it into a course? Can you put it into a book? Would people buy it? And the answer is, yep. You know what? Um, every time my wife turns on the TV, I say to her, "My God, there's a sucker born every minute." And the next thing I turn around, she's buying something. She's on TV. I'm like, there's crap that people are coming up with, and people are buying it. I mean, there's apps out there that you could get that is just, they might as well call the app cheap crap. The, the cheap crap app. I've bought some of this cheap crap just to see what the cheap crap is. I thought, man, I should come up with an app called the cheap crap app. It's it was nothing but cheap crap. I took it out of the box. I don't want to say the name of the company. You probably know it. I mean, it rhymes with Shamu. I'll give you that much. But I took it out of the box and the thing fell apart. No wonder why they're selling it for $5. It was $5 plus $8 shipping. I paid $13 for this cheap piece of crap. You know what? But and they really it wasn't easy to return it. So here I got, and so uh, I'm just saying, there's so many avenues out there for you to think about what it is that you want. So how can you've got to have goals and you've got to say, okay, let's say I want to earn $1,000 extra per month. I need $1,000 extra per month. So if I can get somebody to give me, I need one person to pay $1,000. It's pretty simple, right? If you think about it, get somebody to give you $1,000. Well, you got to be able to solve their problem, and their problem has to be worth $1,000. But there are people that go into a chiropractor, right? They go into a chiropractor. Why do they go into a chiropractor? Because their back hurts, right? And they pay $150. Thank you. It's um, but they pay $150 to get a few bones cracked, and they're told they feel better or they think they feel better. So they leave and they'll do it every week. Or somebody come up with something else. So it's whatever it is that you're good at. And you could be good at social media, you could be good at TikTok, you could be good at videos, you could be good at games. You know, um, I work with the school system a lot, and I have the privilege of talking to children and things like that. And some of the teenagers, they amaze me with how smart they are. Man, if I was given an iPad when I was a kid, wow, the things you could come up with and create. By the time they're sometimes 16, they know how to program and everything, and they're talking to each other, and they're still consumers. And I said to one of them, I said, "Man, you are an intelligent machine." I said, "Thank you." I said, "So why are you still the consumer?" And it was like a light bulb went off in his head. I said, "Why don't you start being the producer? Why don't you think about being the producer?" And he was like, "Man, I never thought of it like that before." You know why? Because schools don't teach people how to think. They don't. They teach you just enough, but they don't teach you how to think. They don't teach you how to set up a business. They don't teach you how to become an entrepreneur. They don't teach you how to write a book. People I talk to that are still writing a book after 40 years. And I can teach you how to write a book within a week, utilizing your own content. Do you know if you put a book up on Amazon, you just directed people to Amazon, you make money? Now, I don't highly recommend that all the time because then you're missing out on the most important thing. You don't get the names of the people that are buying your book. You get the money, but you don't get the names. You figure out a way to set up a landing page, write your book, and then send people to your landing page, and then let Amazon do whatever marketing they're going to do, and that would just be gravy on the trade. And so there are ways to generate. So you think about, what am I good at? What do I know how to do? Do I know how to make people laugh? Am I a good listener? Things like that. Just what what services could I provide that people would pay for? And so you start thinking, okay, I want to make an extra $1,000 a month. I either need to find one that gives me $1,000 a month. If I find 10 that gave me $100, wow. So you sell 10 courses a month. You set up a group coaching program. You find 10 people, gives you $100 a month. Now, what are you going to teach? It's $100 a month. So you come up with something that's $100 in value every month. Are you good at exercising? Are you good at working out? Do you enjoy working out? Maybe you could set up a Zoom call. There's a lot of people I see that are uh, dancing on social media, and all they're doing is they're trying to get followers. That's great. But what about saying how to turn those followers into customers and to actual clients? Maybe you could teach them what you're doing. Maybe if you have a good following and you know how to build a following, maybe you could teach them how to do it. How to do it. Hey, Manny, how are you? And Parker, good to see you. How are you guys doing? Henry Wells, how are you? Who we got out there? And looks like we got somebody watching. uh, on Facebook and YouTube. And it looks like they're also over on Twitch. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Um, and Lewis, how are you? Henry, good to see you guys. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn. So good to see you guys. So we're just talking, getting our minds right in the foundation world for creating those digital products. Well, one digital product right now that you could do is either a book or a course of your own. And there's a few steps that I take people through in how to do that, and they're pretty simple. You can start utilizing even, for instance, this live that I'm doing right now. It can be recorded, and then I can take the recording, I can download it, and then I can also have the recording transcribed. So now I have a digital course, a video to go along with the chapter or the written portion of the book. So I can either create a workbook to go along with the videos, I can coincide them together, or I can come up with a book, and then I could come up with a audio book. Then I can come up with a video course. See the progression there? I've taken people from a physical, an ebook, but if you're like me, I like the ebook in my ebook reader, my phone, my Kindle, whatever it is for you. But then I like the physical book. So if I give them an offer to get the ebook, and then they can upgrade to the physical book, and then they can go to get the physical book. There's an audio book. I can upsell them to the audio book, or if they want the course that goes along with the book. Like I have a book called Should Have Turned Right. I have an audio book and I have a video course to go along with that to help people solidify and get stronger in their decision making. And then I offer coaching services and all that. Da, 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 da. So all that kind of stuff. So there are so many things that you can do to set up those multiple streams of income. But that, let's say I make $200 a month. I'm not. I want to keep the cookies on the lower shelf. A lot of people make $1 million promises and they give you Volkswagen returns. So I want to just share with you that let's just say you only make $200 a month with one of your items. Well, then you sell five of those items. You repeat it five times, and now you got $1,000 a month extra. But you don't have to. You don't really have to do anything. Once you create it, you don't really have to do anything. So it isn't about becoming a best-selling author. A lot of people say, "Well, I'll make you a bestseller." Nobody can guarantee that. But if you start, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to do something great with your life. You have to start. So you make a decision to change one thing day by day, minute by minute. You know, and you can really make a difference in your life. So number one, if you wanted to write a book, you got to think about what it is that you're going to write about and what you're going to serve about. So here's an easy way to do that. Um, if you're reading a book, if you like to read, number one, and you're reading a book, something jumps off of the page at you, I tell you to emulate what resonates. If it resonated with you, emulate it, imitate it. Don't try to um, change. Don't try to do everything all at once. Just imitate. A lot of people try to innovate, and imitation is the greatest form of flattery. That doesn't mean copy. That means how can I put this in my own words? For instance, in an old book called Think and Grow Rich, he said that there are That thoughts are things and powerful things at that, when they're mixed with a definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire for their attainment. Hmm, interesting, right? Thoughts are things and powerful things at that, when they're mixed with a definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire for their attainment. I just got 4 chapters in a book. Thoughts are powerful things, definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire. So, can I talk about those? So, I hop on a video, kind of like the one I'm doing now, and I start diving into the topic at hand. Now, I say this: if you cannot talk about the topic of which you want to write about without a teleprompter and without something, if you're not passionate, if something doesn't just flip your gourd that way, that's probably not the right thing for you to be talking about. But if there is something that, man, it just sends you over the edge and it just awakens the dawn within you, and you can talk about motivation and inspiration and transformation all day long, then that's probably the right topic. And so then you just hop on that video and you just open up and let it rip about the topic. So if I was talking about definiteness of purpose, I'm going to talk about why it's important to have a purpose and be definite about it. And do not cheat the system. Be definite as if life depended upon it. So I'm going to go through that one. And then I'm going to talk about thoughts being powerful things and how they become powerful things and why they are powerful things. And maybe I'll add from the Torah, maybe I'll add from the Bible or the Quran or another book I have read. And I'll say, the Talmud says, as above, so below, as within, so without. And within, if you're going without, chances are you're probably not looking within too much. And if we change what we think about, we become powerful in those thoughts. See, I can do it already. So I do that for about 10 minutes each video. And then I take each video and I put them into a software program that will transcribe the videos. And now I've got text, I've got audio, I've got a video. And so I can take the text and I can put it into an ebook or a physical copy. And I've got an audio book. So then I can tweak some of that stuff, and then I utilize software out there to create a cover and a back cover, and I've got a book already. I'm going to show you how to create a book within a day, utilizing your own content. Utilizing your own content. It's not hard. You just have to be disciplined to do it. And you have to remember this: what gets scheduled gets done. What gets scheduled gets done. If you don't schedule it, probably never going to get done. Anyway, how's everybody doing out there? Hey, Parker, what's happening with you? Thanks for liking the live, by the way.